Beekeepers, winter colony loss can be avoided if you do this. Here's an example of some colonies I have sitting outside. Hives are not wrapped. They're exposed to the rain, the snow. I keep an eye on them by checking the size of the cluster, by opening this and using an LED flashlight, making sure that I know the size of that cluster. And if I can't see the size of the cluster, I'll take and strap it and I'll bring it inside and get and actually look at the hive at the top with the screen on top. We look down and make sure the cluster's large enough. I did that with a few over here. I realized afterwards, after I checked them, that they were large enough to go back out, so I put them back out here on the deck, and I'm going to get them moved back to their previous location. If I determine the cluster's too small to handle the temperatures, that's December 8th here in Michigan. We've had 3 nights in a row, temperatures in the teens, which is basically nothing for this area. Minnesota's been a lot colder the last few nights. But anyway, I breed my own queens all summer long, and if you've been following me, I'm trying to wake up people. The rich people have destroyed this country. Everything about this country is corrupt, including the honeybee industry. They want you to believe that varroa mites are killing your bees during the winter when it's actually the toxic chemicals the crop farmers are using that I can't get anybody to be concerned with. Every time I put a video on YouTube about toxic chemicals, I get very few views. I've actually had toxic chemicals kill my honeybees here on my property where I live, from a farmer 150 yards south of me spraying toxic chemicals, neonics, on a windy day. I knew that farmer. I called him, talked to his family. He did not apologize. The next day I called the state of Michigan. They came, took samples, and they confirmed it a month later. Told me, yes, that farmer killed my bees. And then a month after that, they told me the farmer did nothing wrong. So that's complete bullshit. Government corruption, okay? And that they want you to spend money on varroa mite treatments. They make money doing that. I used acylic acid, a Ferox vaporizer. I used that last couple years. It works. It doesn't cost a lot once you buy the vaporizing tool. The acylic acid's really cheap. So anyway, so the government's corrupt. The honeybee industry is corrupt. I'm trying to wake you guys up. So I get a lot of people that can't handle the truth, and they don't really want to follow me or whatever. They don't want to tell other people about me. But anyway, this was September for me. I went online and found if you do 3 treatments every 7th day or every 5th day, and then 2 treatments every 7th day, I basically end up spending a whole month doing a group of hives every morning. And then you're supposed to do it before winter, as winter gets started. But I was going to wait and see how my bees were doing. Here it is, December 8th, and I didn't do the last treatment before winter for every colony because I used a lot of acylic acid when I did this, and I left it in a long time. I really treated them pretty hard. And I knew it was kind of hard on some of the small colonies. The smallest colonies actually lost bees, and then they got robbed out. And I've lost colonies because of that. But that's the way it is. Either you lose them from treating them for varroa mites, or you lose them from the varroa mites. So anyway, I didn't do the treatment before winter, and I don't think I really need to. I've been giving my colonies a lot of sugar, domino cane sugar. I've been constantly, almost every other week, I have to make more of this. And I put it in the shim where the fuse is, and I can see how much they have. If they need more, I give them more, and they've been eating a lot of sugar. That's telling me the colonies are huge. And I was assuming, they predicted for the last 3 winters in a row that we were going to have a colder and wetter winter than normal, and they said that for this winter too. So I was assuming, my bees haven't done a cleansing flight for 4 weeks. The last time they did a cleansing flight was end of October, early November. I was assuming they were going to be in for the long haul, so I started bringing them all in. And now the forecast is for 40s and 50s, so I will be bringing them out. So I worked my ass off to make sure my colonies don't die. I lost 1 colony last winter. Right here in the window, they got too cold because I didn't check them every day like I should have. So I can't say enough about checking your colonies. If you just sit back and wait for them to survive winter and check them in the spring, you're going to find you lose a lot of colonies. If you keep up with them. I just checked them today. What I did was, we had snow on the hives. I scraped off the snow, and first thing I do is I look here. Okay, no bees. Then I go down here with the LED flashlight and I look and make sure there's bees. And sometimes you got to push the sugar out of the way, because I put in sugar yesterday. You got to push that sugar out of the way. Like this one right here. See those bees? I didn't need to check any further. You do that really quick, they can handle that. And you make sure you see them alive. Make sure they move. Just don't look and see if there's a bee there. It could be a dead bee. You got to make sure it's alive. So basically, if you follow what I'm doing, you won't have any winter losses. It's a joke. You guys are having losses, and the bee industry is selling you packages every spring to make up for those losses. And they're selling you queens. I breed my own queens. I don't buy bees from anybody anymore. It was 2017 was a disaster with the Foley fiasco. If you go back, look at my videos, and I've been telling you everything's been happening with me the last 2 years. I don't think there's any other beekeeper in the United States that's growing as fast as I am. Where you consider where I was 3 years ago. 2022, I should be able to be a commercial beekeeper. I have 154 colonies right now. If I can minimize my losses, what happens is I have trouble with queens. They don't lay during the winter like I want them to. And I've actually saw some earlier this year that were sick and they died. I watched them die. If they don't lay as soon as possible, the colony shrinks, and that colony will basically be nothing if you just continue. I end up having to combine colonies in March and April because queens died. So there's nothing I can do about that. It's the toxic chemicals in my hives. It's in the wax, it's in the pollen, it's in the honey. That's what's killing our bees. You guys need to wake up and understand the rich people are destroying this country. They have destroyed this country. Think about how great America would be if the rich people weren't consuming all the money from their greed. Like Jeff Bezos has a yacht that's worth $500 million. Is that really necessary? You know, all that money comes from us. Well, some of it comes from the Fed. The Fed actually runs the country. They print money, they create money, and give it to the rich people first. But basically, they're taxing us, the government's taxing us, and the rich people are making money off their greed, selling us products that are junk. There's no such thing as quality anymore. You buy something, and a few months later, you got to go buy it again because it's garbage. Okay? Wake up.